You have something that belongs to me. Where is my egg?
Birds are here, Judy and Nick are having a baby, and we now know there's entire nations outside of Zootopia that we've never seen before. Which means, yeah, the third movie in Disney's best current franchise, yes I said it, is about to go absolutely mental. It's time to smash open the doors of the writer's room, because if you saw the post-credit scene with that bird tease, you already know why this matters. And today it isn't about reacting to it, it's about what Disney should do next. I'm speculating, pitching and theorising and trying to put forward the strongest possible ideas for Zootopia 3, especially focusing on those birds. So yeah, I'm Connor for SLUURP, and these are 5 pitches for Zootopia 3. Honourable mention, the Tony Hawk bird. Yeah, you make a skateboarding hawk character and give him the name Tony, and you cast Tony Hawk. Yeah, that's it. That's the pitch. Disney, I'm available. Please hire me. Number 5, President Puffin and the Bird Nation. I've genuinely been thinking about birds joining Zootopia for years, and I'm not exaggerating. We literally made a video over a year ago saying the exact same thing, and honestly, President Puffin is still my favourite way to do it. The cleanest setup for Zootopia 3 is this. They're now working a higher level case tied to animal land security, and that case sends them investigating a secretive, isolationist nation of birds. And that's the key part. Birds have always existed. They didn't just show up, they kept themselves separate. No one enters, no one leaves. Suddenly, Zootopia 3 becomes this massive story about propaganda, espionage, and the fear of other. 2 nations that have spent generations teaching their citizens not to trust each other. You can immediately imagine the internal conflict for Judy. She's instinctively empathetic, she wants cooperation, she wants unity, and yet she's navigating a situation where the birds don't want to be part of her world. Visually, politically, emotionally, this is such a rich direction, and I'd love to see it on the big screen. Number 4, the immigrant bird story. One of the reasons Zootopia works so well is because it does what classic Disney used to do really well. It tackles proper adult themes in a way that kids can understand without feeling preached to. Disney movies are the best when they actually have something to say. So if Zootopia 1 was about prejudice, and Zootopia 2 expanded the world with reptiles, and Wilde basically made it a metaphor for then what if Zootopia 3 went very topical and tackled immigration? My pitch would be that the birds are forced to flee their homeland due to some kind of natural disaster, and with that there's room to lightly touch on climate change as a theme here too. Suddenly you have this influx of birds entering Zootopia, and the city has to respond. You still anchor it in this detective plot, obviously. Maybe Judy and Nick are investigating a crime that's been blamed on birds, or maybe they're actively helping birds enter the city legally and safely while uncovering who is actually exploiting the situation. Honestly, I'm just tired of this anti-immigrant shit in the real world, and I honestly think that this franchise is one of the safest places Disney has to tackle that topic without it being derailed by the usual bad faith outrage. Zootopia is built for this kind of story, so Disney should go for it. Number 3, China and the Asian influence. Now this one is a little bit looser, but hear me out. Zootopia 2 is an absolute monster hit in China, like genuinely huge, and while I don't think Disney will ever sit in a room and say, yeah, let's make this next movie for China, I do think they'll naturally ask how Zootopia 3 can appeal even more to one of its biggest audiences. The trick here would be not repeating the same metaphor again. We've already had prey as second-class citizens, we've already had reptiles treated with suspicion, so instead of birds being another oppressed group, what if there's something more uncomfortable? What if birds aren't excluded, they've chosen separation? An older, ordered civilization that predates Zootopia, they operate above it, literally and figuratively. They never needed the city of Zootopia, and they never asked to be a part of it. Suddenly, the conflict wouldn't be about rescuing or welcoming someone. It would be about whether a system can be peaceful and effective without being truly free. And I think Judy would still be dealing with the fact that she wants to bring the birds in, to integrate them, to share her world. But what if they don't want that? That is a massive philosophical question, explored through talking animals, which is honestly Disney at its best. Number 2, the egg baby story. This is the big one. Let's just say it, a lot of people really want Judy and Nick together. And there's an entire content farm built around Judy being pregnant. And no, before you start, I am not a furry. Please do not edit me into a furry suit, Mr. Video Editor. Do not do that. That wouldn't be smart or clever. Thank you very much. For a long time, I didn't really get the shipping. I didn't really see how it would work because, well, you know, one's a fox and the other one's a bunny, and from that perspective, yeah. But after watching Zootopia 2, yeah, I think these two like each other. So the question becomes, how do we explore that relationship without turning the movie into something weird and slightly uncomfortable? Sorry, furries. Well, it's easy. You use birds and you use eggs. What if Judy and Nick come across a mysterious lost egg and end up having to care for it throughout the movie? Suddenly you've got this father-mother dynamic that feels natural, and the adventure becomes about figuring out whose egg this is and who it belongs to. And maybe by the end there's that classic Disney gut punch when they realise they don't have to return it. They have to become the parents when it hatches. I can already see the emotional beats, and then immediately Nick undercutting it by pointing out how ugly baby chicks are, because yeah, they ugly. Number 1, the stork villain. Okay, so keep what we just talked about in pitch 2 in your mind, and now let's take that idea and push it even further. If Judy and Nick are essentially parenting this egg, then the most twisted, perfect move would be to make the egg's original parent the villain of the movie. And what's more perfect than a stork? Everyone knows the stork myth. They deliver babies, they're supposed to be gentle, trustworthy. So imagine if the person they're supposed to return the egg to is the antagonist of the movie, and Judy is faced with a genuinely hard moral choice. Not like, I love this egg, it's mine, but I don't think this baby will be safe with you. That's dark, it's a deep theme, and it's uncomfortable. But when Disney commits to this stuff, it really works. So yeah, those are my pitches for Zootopia 3. Rogue nations, immigration, and power structures. It sounds just like another day in the US headlines. But I want to hear from you. What do you want to see in Zootopia 3? Drop your pitches in the comments. We're going to be covering this movie a lot, and the best ideas will definitely show up in future videos. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching this one. I'll see you in the next one.
Focus, Nick! They operate like an old intelligence state. Tight control, surveillance everywhere. And their leader, President Puffin.
Good morning, citizens. Productivity rises, enemies scatter, all thanks to our glorious leader.
Maz, your great leader!